Hello, I'm Jordan Our, back with another episode of Half Hour with Jordan Our. Today we'll be talking with some leaders here at NOSIT. At NOSIT, there are a variety of different activities for students to become a part of, ranging from sports, clubs, and student government. Therefore, there are many opportunities for students to get involved and hold leadership positions. Let's start off today by having everyone introduce themselves by saying their name, grade level, leadership position, and any clubs or activities they are involved in. Start.
Hello there, my name is Kieran Norton. I'm a senior at NOSIT, and some of my leadership positions at the school include being a captain on the cross-country team, and I'm also the president of the debate club.
My name is Willa Kroll. I'm a junior here at NOSIT. I helped with kind of the start of the process of NOSIT time, as well as I'm part of diving and lacrosse and poetry club.
My name's Cecilia Orlandella. I'm part of Best Buddies as their president and Best Buddies bowling on Thursday as well. And I also am on the Cape Cod Youth rowing team.
So what motivated you to become a part of the activity you were in?
Yeah. So at first I started cross country as a freshman just because it was good sport. I had some friends on the team that I wanted to get involved in, but right when I got there, I just really got hooked on the sport, and I could see the leadership roles that upperclassmen had at that time, and that was kind of what you looked up to. So moving up and through the grades, I decided that that would be a good role to take on. And I feel like there's definitely a lot of great leaders here at NOSIT that whatever activity you want to point to, there's just great role models to follow after as you come up the grades.
So my advisory teacher first brought to us the kind of NOSIT time idea, and I was one of the 4 to go to Falmouth and Monomoy, which was really cool, and learn how they kind of use that time to their advantage. Also, diving, I'm starting new this year, and lacrosse I've done for a little while.
I got involved with Best Buddies my freshman year. I grew up with a family friend who had Down syndrome, and she's one of my favorite friends that I hang out with, but that kind of pushed me to get involved. And over the years I went to Best Buddy leadership conferences in Indiana and met more people that are very similar, and I just grew a passion for it.
And what is your role as a leader? And Kieran, I know you have a little bit different as captain, so if you want to explain the debate club and being captain.
Yeah, so first off, from the athletic standpoint, it's kind of organizing practice, assisting the coach in any way that they need to help keep kids in line and not distracted from practice, and make sure we're on task with the workouts that we need to do. Because a lot of times when a perspective is coming from a coach, an adult figure, but also a fellow student, kids are willing to listen to both people, and it just gives a different leadership perspective. And in terms of that, yeah, just managing things on the team, organizing events that we do, making sure everyone's on time to practice, and then we have all our gear to get ready. And then from the debate club, what I basically do with my fellow advisors is we organize the debates every week, decide what topic we want to do, organize events that we might want to host, just come up with new ideas. This past week we played a game instead of a formal debate where we kind of did 1 versus 1 individual debates. So just keep coming up with new ideas of what we can use to keep kids enthralled with the club.
Okay, so obviously we're just at the beginning of the process for this NOSIT time idea, but hopefully getting to lead kind of the student part of this kind of extra time would be really awesome.
I don't know, just to make the buddies happy, we try to make one-on-one pairings, but of course sometimes those don't always hold through completely. So we always have a community that we build around it, and we try to play games and involve them in our community, especially at Nauset, which does a really good job with it.
And is there any specific person or thing that motivated you guys to become leaders?
Definitely the role models that I had as a freshman and sophomore at the high school. I had like some great role models that I could look up to, and different students that really taught me like what it was to be a leader and how to like keep kids engaged and not to like look down upon underclassmen. So those were the type of people that got me involved in like leadership.
I would agree with that, and also teachers just getting you to try new things really helped.
Yeah, that as well, but also, like I said, like my cousin, and then obviously the way like her parents raised her, because it's kind of hard like starting off with a child that has Down syndrome.
In your opinion, what makes a good leader?
A good leader needs to be confident, but also humble, and being able to, being confident enough to have control over the people that you're in charge of, but not letting that power go to your head, and not being too controlling in a way that people feel like they don't have any like autonomy in whatever group or team they're part of.
I think that there's a big responsibility that comes with being a leader, as you're kind of in charge of all these other people, but I also think that being kind of listening to these other perspectives and then growing from what you learn is really important when you're a leader.
I think supporting is a big like role in that. Like you need to support everyone around you, but you also need to be like not like strict, but you need to like understand that like you have to take a lead in something to get something started.
Why do you think people elected or chose you to be their leader?
Personal qualities. I mean, in the organizations that I'm part of, that I'm like a leader in, I've been like committed to it for a long time, so I've shown like commitment and like devoted interest into whatever it may be, and I think I display like some of those qualities that might be able to be a good leader on the team. So that was like how I gained that position, I guess.
I think just kind of being active in that process of Nauset time and really just letting my voice be heard on the subject.
I think basically for me, it was because I was always involved. I mean, I spend like 40% of my week with the students in like an internship with them. And I think a lot of the teachers that elect the presidents like saw that, and like, yeah.
And I know Cece and Kieran, you guys are seniors, so how do you plan on helping your predecessor adjust to the new position next year?
That's something that I definitely need to start thinking about. In terms of cross country, it's less of like my responsibility to pass on like captainship or something. The team as a whole figures that out, and the coach like moving toward next year. But in terms of the debate club, and also like in the jazz band, I'm the drum kit player, so like we need to like start bringing up like younger musicians to like take spots in like the jazz band. There's it's very senior heavy, so there needs to be more underclassmen like moving up. But it's something that you just need to help kids out, like help build their confidence to take on roles like that, and make them feel like they can do it, and just see who's really committed to whatever the activity is, and like try to help them out to give them a leg up to like take a leadership position.
Yeah, I agree with that. For Best Buddies at least, we look to see who's always there, and like kids that have a lot of kindness towards the buddies, and we use that to like decide who's gonna have that role. And then a lot of times we'll put them into our like officers as like secretary or treasurer to like get them used to it, and then we have like a binder of ideas that we have that we give to like the next generation, I guess. I don't know.
What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment as leader?
Would one of you like to go first?
You can
Okay. I guess just getting, well, obviously mine really hasn't started, commenced yet, but just getting, hopefully, this process started.
I think mine would be kindness. I mean, I'm very close with all the buddies. I mean, Asa texts me every day. So I think I'm just very close with them, and I think that was kind of my biggest thing.
In terms of my leadership, I'm very proud of the direction the debate club has taken in the past few years, because it started when I was a sophomore, with some seniors at the time that were interested in creating it, and it was kind of in its like infantile stages at that time, and it was a great start, but there wasn't as much participation or as many kids involved or as much consistency as there is now. So I'm pretty proud of how we have like good consistency and large numbers each week of people participating, and yeah, just a lot of kids interested in coming, so that's a good accomplishment.
What has been a struggle for you as a leader?
I know for me, it was definitely like the leadership team. Everyone has their own opinions, and not only that, I mean, now we work really well together, but for Best Buddies, it's really hard because like the R word goes around the school so much, and that like trying to like hold like the proper like reason why you can't use it is really hard to explain to other kids. So it's kind of like a very heavy position where like people don't understand why it's important to like use the right terminology.
I'm also a full IB student, so really going into that program that's so new is hard, because sometimes it's hard for a new program to have that organization that, let's say, all of our IPs do. Also, for the NASA time thing, it's hard to get everyone kind of on the working together for this kind of thing.
A struggle I've had was definitely on the cross-country team. For the most part, like athletes they like follow the rules and like deal with things and have the team's like goals in mind, but there's always like kids that kind of can be problematic and don't want to like devote themselves as much as others are, so you just need to make sure everyone is buying into the team goals and everyone's like-minded to achieve the same thing, because if without that there can be some issues.
Do you guys find it hard to balance your academics with all your extracurriculars, especially like when you're taking IB or AP classes? And if you do, how do you manage your time?
I don't really think of spending, like, I know what you mean, but I don't really think of spending time with like the buddies as like an extracurricular, because I'm just so used to it that like I get my homework done right after school basically, so I don't really have a problem with it. But
yeah, for me, like the activities that I do, I really enjoy, and also the program I really enjoy as well. So usually I think of all the extracurriculars as kind of like a break from my work, which is nice.
Yeah, I'd for sure agree with that point. It's definitely like a nice way to maintain your sanity like outside of the classroom, but at the same time it definitely cuts away on like sleep and stuff. Like I have a lot of late nights of homework that if I didn't participate in the activities, I probably could get to bed earlier, but I'm glad that I do, because it enhances my like academic experience at Nauset.
So switching gears a bit, we're going to start discussing Nauset time, which is something Will has been working very hard on, and it's modeled after Clipper time at Falmouth High School. A daily 30-minute flexible time for extra help, intervention, support, and enrichment. So Willa, do you want to explain what Nauset time is a little bit?
Okay, so basically, if NASA time were to be implemented, it would be about a 30-40 minute block in the middle of the day where you're scheduled to see different teachers or to make up exams or to do your homework. And a lot of kids say this is like a nice break in the middle of their day.
Do you want to expand a little more on your trip to like Falmouth and Monomoy and like what you observed?
So Falmouth is a very kind of structured time in the middle of their day. Usually, I believe it's in the morning, and every Monday, they schedule what classes they want to go to, or teachers schedule them for a class. And then Monomoy is more of an open time for clubs and also the academic work.
Is there one that you liked more?
I kind of like a combination of both, because while you need the structure, it's also very important for you to kind of be doing what you want to do and what you think is most important.
And will the Nauset time like replace rotating or advisory?
I think that's kind of up for debate at this point. We don't really know. It might also be a kind of lunch block where you have you can choose which lunch you want to go to, A or B, and then the other block is for Nauset time.
And you mentioned that it might hopefully would be implemented by fourth term. Do you
Yeah,
think
it might
that's
be
a possibility.
Yeah, there might be kind of a trial run by fourth term. We'll see. I think if it's agreed upon, it will definitely go into effect at some point next year.
And you guys, Cece and Kieran, you guys are seniors, but do you have any opinions on that or comments about Nauset time? Because we've been hearing about it for a few years.
I have some friends that go to Monomoy, and they said that they love their like Jossam hour, which is pretty similar. So I mean, I would give it a try. Honestly, I think it would be worth it to like have a designated time where I can go and talk to like a teacher that I'm struggling in their class.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, we're seniors, so it won't have much effect on us like as of now, but it'd be interesting to do a trial run or something to test out, see if it's more like effective than advisory, because I think a lot of kids like are involved in a lot at Nauset, and having like that ability to use that time however they want, whether if they need extra help in a certain class or they want to like pursue something that they might not have the ability to like within their schedule. It sounds like a good idea.
Is the main goal of like Nauset time to reduce stress in the workload of kids?
And that was especially true at Monomoy. They were really they had a survey that was put out, and the results were kind of shocking to them. And then after they had implemented this Jossam hour, they found that stress levels were decreased significantly.
And I know Nauset kind of sent out a survey like that. Did they get, I don't know if you know, but did they get the same type of results?
I'm not quite sure, but I think they were concerned about the results that were had.
And then this is more for Kieran and Cece because you guys are seniors, but talk a little bit about college and schools you guys are looking at. And in college, if you guys hope to continue leadership.
For me, my top college I want to go to is George Mason University in Virginia. And I've been on my Cape Cod youth rowing team for 4 years. And the coach at that school is D1. He recruited me to row.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But they also have a really strong Best Buddies involvement there. They have like classes and a whole like building based on it. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll choose that one. Yeah.
My college plans are, coming to fruition, but we'll see what happens. I've applied to schools early action, and I'm just waiting to see the results, and then I'll move forward from there. But I definitely like to take over leadership positions, maybe in college, as I progress through the years there, wherever I end up. And I'd like to, just get involved in a lot of stuff, because I feel like throwing yourself into a whole new environment is the best way to meet new people, just getting involved in different activities. So.
Do you hope to do cross country?
Cross country, I most likely won't be running like on a varsity team in college, but I'd like to continue running and maybe on a club team or something wherever I go.
And Will, you're just a junior, but have you started looking at colleges or have an idea?
Yeah, I've visited a couple, and just kind of getting started with that process, it can be very stressful. So.
Well, thank you for watching this week's episode of Half Hour with Jordan Our. I am Jordan Our, and I will see you on the next episode.